Hey there, fan veil fans, fan veil enthusiasts. Let's take a moment to talk about fan veil basics. But these are sort of your basic fan veil size where you get two, one for your right hand and one for your left hand. And yes, they are different. For years, I thought maybe they weren't, but the way the tines are set up are actually a little bit different. So if you look closely at these fan veils, you can see that the tine that is closest to the camera is pointing to the inside on both of these fans, right? And so where my hand holds the back of the fan, you can see the tine that is closest to the camera right now is pointing that away. And that gives the base of my hand, the meaty part of my hand, a little place to set inside my fan veil. So if you are new to fan veils, or maybe you've just bought a new pair of fan veils and you're having a hard time holding them with one hand, double check to make sure they're not exactly the same. Because if you have two right-handed or two left-handed veils, while it is possible to work with them, it is a bit more challenging. So make sure that the way your tines are set up are different on your two fan veils. Can you see that? There's the closest, biggest tine, and then it's on the other side on the other fan veil. Yeah? So when you set up to hold your fan veil, very important note, my thumb will be traveling along the part of the fan veil that is the longest tine that is closest to me as I'm holding it. This tine, if you can see, is a little bit further away. It's further down the row of tines. So my thumb is going to be here, and the flesh of my hand is going to fit into that little notch, right? So that's super useful because you're holding it the wrong way. A lot of the tricks are really challenging, yeah? So make sure you're holding the fan veils correctly and that you have one for your right hand and one for your left hand. When I hold my fan veil, I find I have the most success if I think about gently splaying my hand open. I use my pinky and my ring finger to help hold open the inside part of the fan. And like I mentioned, it's the thumb on the other side that is really creating a tiny bit of pressure to help keep that fan veil open. What I am not doing is holding it with like grip of steel, grip of death, which will totally tire out my hands by the end of my choreography. So you want to think about just gently splaying open your fan veil. If you create a connection onto your arm with the tine of the fan veil, so holding it here where my fan veil tine is actually connecting with my arm as opposed to holding it here where it is floating loose in space, one, the fan veil becomes infinitely more easy to control, and two, it looks as though it is dancing with you. Now the fan veil is an extension of my arm, which is really gorgeous, as opposed to if I hold it here, now it's just kind of this thing that I am flinging around in space in front of me. It's still pretty, but if you can connect that tine to your arm, I lay it gently on the inside of my arm, not here and not where I might skewer myself in the inside of my elbow, but just slightly to the outside. So as I'm doing tricks, it has the ability to slide a little bit on my arm and is not connected all of the time, but it is definitely laying there for the majority of my flowing tricks. And that allows the fan veil to look longer, prettier, and more integrated to your dance. It also allows you to have better control so you don't have to use quite so much hand muscle to hold the darn thing open, yeah? The other little tip that I'd like to give you, and this might seem kind of intuitive, but when I got this into my head, it made things a lot easier. When in doubt as to how you are moving through space with your fan veil, you are going to 99.9% of the time be moving with your hand first. Your hand where it's holding the connection of all your tines, right? You're holding here at the handle. Pretty much always that part of the fan veil needs to travel through space first, right? Where the tines connect on the handle. Because if I travel with the tines first, you'll see the flow gets stopped because the veil gets stuck on the fan itself, right? And at first you'll have to think about it because it won't be very intuitive, but eventually you'll have the feel that, okay, my hand has to push through space first because if the tines push through space first, this movement isn't going to look right. So I know if I'm going to turn to my left, I have to flip my right hand over. Yes, and I know if I'm going to turn to my right, I have to flip my left arm over so that I'm able to move through space, handle first, which gives the veil the opportunity to really fly. Yeah? Does that all make sense? I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that I can send you new belly dance content weekly. If you are ready to level up your belly dance skills and build upon what we've learned here today, then you should join me online on Teachable. Sign up now and get access to 10 free classes that will help you level up your belly dance technique. You can join me at sahirabellydances.com/join me. I hope to see you there.